Hey there, thanks for turning down my road. If this is your first time here, my name's Carl, and you've picked the perfect time of year to come ride along. If you don't have the joy of farming yourself, I'd love to help you experience it through this channel. Whatever your background, you found the right place. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch. I am picking up round bales my favorite way. This is pretty high class. I borrow the neighbor's tractor. I think it's a 6140R and a trailer that we pull behind it that belongs to him as well, and it just has a drop hitch that's mounted on the bale forks on the back, so you can just set the trailer down, drive away from it in the field. I'm sure you've seen this before if you were watching last year, but it's pretty fascinating. You load the trailer up with the tractor and then just back right up to it and line the pin up and hook it up. Just pick it up and take off. You don't ever have to get out of the tractor. So it's really nice on a day like today, as opposed to being out on the Oliver sweating myself to death and then having to have somebody move the trailer for me all the time. So this is sweet. I wish I had a way of having an outfit like this everywhere. But the hay that I make over here in the waterways around the farm that I work for, I always borrow this guy's tractor and trailer because it just doesn't make sense to drag all of our equipment on trailers and everything out here to just pick up 30 bales or something. So I can get this done in just a couple of hours with this really nice rig. You see, the beauty of this is you can carry a bale on the front and you can carry a bale on the back, and then you can load the trailer. Like, watch this. I'm just gonna drop the bale that's on the back on the ground right there, and then I'm just gonna load this bale on the trailer. This is I should be having my headset or my head mounted camera on, so I didn't have to hold the camera and do the controls. But so then I'll just drop that on the trailer, and then I can just spin around and pick this bale up on the spear on the front. Obviously, again, I could do this much better, and there we go. There we go. And then we'll just whirl around and back right up to the trailer and hook it up. So, drop the hitch down. And you probably can't see the pin, but I can. There it is. Right there. Get that baby lined up with that hole. And then just pick the trailer up. And away we go. It's just that simple. So this is why you don't drive through hay fields when the hay is standing tall. Now, this is a waterway, so there's really no way to avoid this because we have to drive through it with the equipment when we're spraying and putting on fertilizer. But if you look at that, that's all the grass that the hay mower could not cut. And you follow it all the way up, it's kind of a mess because when you come along and rake, all of the hay that you have cut is all intertwined with that hay that you couldn't cut, and it's just a real pain. And then the baler comes along with the pickup teeth and just stands that stuff straight back up. So I can come along right now and probably mow that. It's basically garbage because it's been mashed down into the dirt in the past. The reason it's down so bad is because it was probably a little bit wet when we were crossing in that spot and kind of mashed it down into the mud, and then it never stood back up again. Maybe I should come back through, and I probably will, just with the brush cutter and just cut that down clean so that it's not a big tangled mess for the next time I cut hay. I will be cutting this waterway again in August, so that might be a good idea. hay is all picked up and delivered to the guy that's gonna buy it, by the way. Except for this one little baby bale that I've got in the back of the Ranger. I'm gonna take that home and it'll go down to the pasture to feed the cows this summer. They're gonna need a little supplemental hay, and this waterway hay will be plenty good enough for that. Plus, doesn't it just look pretty cool in the back of that truck? I think so. Check out this sweet quick hitch. This is the greatest way to hook up to an implement like this. It makes it so easy. Once you're there, you just pick it up and you're good to go. That's all there is to it. This kind of a mower is really difficult to hook up to if you don't have one of these hitches. I love this thing. Boy, am I thankful for air conditioning today. It is miserable outside. I mean, you can see that it's fogging the window up on the outside. I'm having to run the windshield wiper. So there's some giant ragweeds right here, and I'm gonna hit them with the brush cutter. This is a weed that can get kind of crazy. Look how big it can get so fast. I'm gonna have to take down just a little bit of corn with it to get these weeds, but I don't want them going to seed. And I also didn't want them in the hay bales, so that's why I didn't mow them down with the hay mower. But take down just a few corn stalks to get those giant ragweeds down, lest they take over the waterway and the field. And I like to come through here and just clean up the corners. That hay mower is not as agile as this little 3-point mower, so you can't get into some really tight spaces. You can't turn a corner really well. So I like to just kind of come back, clean things up, and make it look nice. So what I'm doing right now is I'm getting ready to do a little grass seeding along here. We were informed that this waterway has gotten a little bit too narrow. It's supposed to be 40 feet wide on average. It's about 32 right now. So we need to seed out grass another 7.5 or 8 feet out into the corn, which it should not have a problem taking off this time of year. We're supposed to get 1/2 inch of rain the day after tomorrow, so if we can get this seeded, it should turn out pretty good. But it definitely feels weird to be mowing down corn in July. Okay, it looks like there's a storm a-brewing. We're all set up. Let's get this seeding done before we get wet. Okay, here we go. Hit it. Okay, now that that massive seeding project is done, it's time to unhook the seeder and hook up our extremely high-tech seed incorporation device. I bet you've never seen anything quite this upscale before. Pallet. Chain. Oh boy. Look at that. That's beautiful. If we get a rain on this, which it looks like we might, it'll grow really good. Really well, I guess is the right way to say it. Go park that there. Well, be careful what you wish for. We got that rain that I wanted, but it came along with a lot of pretty bad wind and knocked a lot of corn down, made a big mess out of some things. It's gonna take a few days to assess the damage and figure out if it's permanent damage or if the corn's gonna stand back up, but I can guarantee you that's what the next video is gonna be about. Thanks for riding along on this one. We'll see you next time.